These are the type of questions that clients might ask you. So make sure you're aware of them and you know what to answer the client then. First one, what kind of training have you had and what kind of certifications do you hold? That one they might ask, and they might even ask you where you went to school too, so just make sure you're aware of that. How long have you been practicing? Some therapists, what they'll do is they'll say since the first day of school, they'll add that in there because let's say you just got out of school and you told them, oh, I've been just for a month or so. It might scare some people. That's the problem. So it's not really lying, especially if you gave a lot of massages while you're going to massage school too. What school did you go to is a big one, especially if they know somebody that went to a certain school. It's kind of like small talk. What types of massages do you give? So you make sure you have an understanding of the different kind of styles that you give, and you can give a brief example and something that they can understand. How long will the treatment last? Because the problem is some spas, even though they say an hour, sometimes it might just be 50 minutes or 45 minutes even. So just make sure they're aware of how long the treatment actually is then. And do you have half an hour, 45 minutes, or 1 hour or longer treatments? So you can kind of, with massage, you want to try to push them for the longer treatments if possible. Because the smaller ones, like the half an hour, you got to look at a cleanup time in between, and it's just wasting money in the long run. What are your prices, of course? Just be careful of that too, because sometimes other therapists will call around and try to find out what you're charging. So I mean, you can let them know if you want, but just make sure you're within $5 to $10 of the average massage therapist in like a 5 to 10 mile radius. So that's pretty realistic. How hard is it to get an appointment? Same day, days, weeks? You don't want to say, oh, my schedule's always empty, so you can come anytime. You want to play a little bit hard to get in a way. So with clients, you want to let them know, prospective clients, you want to let them know that let me know in advance. We'll try to set up something, and even if, let's say you're booked, you're not booked at all that day, don't tell them you got the whole day free. Just give them a couple hour time frame, because it looks bad. I mean, you're not really lying in a way again, but it looks bad if you're just saying, oh, I got all these hours available, please come anytime. So you want to kind of gear the client to come when you need them to come too. And do you have any special packages, discounts, those kind of things? Packages and discounts are really beneficial, especially for first-time clients. So sometimes people send out coupons for in newspapers for first-time clients, like 10% off or $10 off their first treatment. But just try not to get in a habit of that. Otherwise, people can take advantage of you too. Do you have give special discounts for referring people? That's important too. Just because sometimes people have a punch card if you got so many referrals, or just make sure you document any people that's referred you. So it helps out a lot, and you don't even have to have it written at all. So let's say after 3 or 4 of them, you can maybe give that person a half an hour free massage. So you want to reward those people. So it's a form of advertising is what it basically is. How can I make an appointment? I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory, but some people prefer to call, some people prefer to come in. It all depends on where you're at. Do you make house calls? Be firm with that. If you don't perform house calls, just say that's not my ethics. I just don't go out to give people massages outside of my place of business. Otherwise, you can explain that you charge a lot more. So some therapists will charge even $20 plus more per massage, just because it's for your travel time too. You got to look at it. Even some people will charge mileage too. Do your hands ever get tired? You get this question a lot. But with that, you say, yeah, they do in a way, but you're using your forearms, palms, fingers, your elbows. In some styles, you even use your feet to massage. And can I bring my own oil? And the question with that is, I mean, every now and then you might get a client that's allergic to certain oils or something, and they just want to be safe. So I totally agree with them if they want to bring their own stuff, but make sure that they sign something saying that I'm bringing my own stuff, just to be safe. Is it okay to have my kids come along? I've had this happen a few times. I allowed them to just because they are paying for it, but it's a huge distraction for you as a therapist. But again, the client is paying for it, so you got to allow them to make that kind of decision. But I know some therapists that refuse to have have kids come along. Then it hurts when I do this. What can I do? You're going to get that no matter who it is. If they know that you're a massage therapist, they're going to ask these kind of questions. They're going to try to get a lot of free advice all the time. So just make sure it's short and sweet, and try not to spend too much time, especially out in public, when people say those kind of things. Do you ever get massages, and how often? So you as a massage therapist, try to get one once every month or once every 6 weeks or so. So considered maintenance, of course. So how can you recommend clients to get regular massages if you don't get ones yourself? Do you use a drape while massaging? So do you cover the client up or not? So explain to them about your draping procedure, and let's say all private areas are always covered at all times. Then, what kinds of oils, creams, products, etc. do you use? You can explain to them what kind of things you use, and try to stay away from things that use nuts like almond, just because some people are allergic to peanuts. Do you offer the products for sale? So some therapists, ethically, they don't want to sell the products that they use because they think it's non-ethical. But again, it all depends on what your belief is with that. What kind of payment do you accept? Cash, check, or credit card? I myself, when I have my business, accepted cash and check, but not credit card. But I'd always make a joke that, yeah, we take credit card, I just don't give it back. And sometimes people will get it, sometimes they wouldn't. But with check, it all depends. I mean, a lot of stores and even fast food restaurants are not allowing checks anymore because it's just too much of a hassle of people bouncing checks. So they prefer cash, and even with credit card. But with credit cards, some people will pay. You can pay an extra fee for that too. So maybe $2 to $5 sometimes per transaction. Some therapists will charge more for that. Do you accept tips? I said no. Just because when I had my own business, I'm the owner, and most people don't tip the owner, but that's my belief. But some people are totally okay with accepting tips. But when I worked for other people, I was more gracious to accept tips then. Are you really busy giving massages? And you can say for the most part, and just say there's ups and downs. There's no real guarantee of how busy you're going to be all the time. Have you ever do you ever have clients that smell? You want to try to stay away from this kind of question, because especially if it's a small town and they know certain people that go to your business, and what if they know that they actually smell? Those kind of questions can come up into the public. Will you accept competitors' coupons? With that, you want to say within reason, just to be safe. So it's up to the therapist's discretion then whether to take those or not. So that's it for the first part, and my next video will be on the second part of different kind of questions the clients can ask then.